Hey, what's up guys, Totallydubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review for the Philips 298P4QJEB. God, that's hard to say. It's a 29-inch AH-IPS LED monitor that's running a resolution of 2560x1080 at 60 Hz. Furthermore, it's listed with a 14 milliseconds response time, but that can be lowered to 5 milliseconds G2G via smart response, which I'll get on in just a second. I'll link down this a spec page in the description below, and also the Amazon page into where you can buy it. It can be bought for around £370, and it's a reasonably high price tag, especially in comparison to a previous monitor I reviewed, which is the AOC Q2963PM, and I'd reviewed that at £260 price tag. However, now for some reason it's risen to $311. Again, I'll link my video review of the AOC in the link in the description below, so do check that out. Now, in terms of the monitor itself, I'm going to start with the build quality. The build quality of the monitor is actually very good, and I'm very much impressed with the stand. The stand does rotate, pivot, and tilt, so that means pretty much everything you want. You can rotate it to 180 degrees, so you can just fully rotate it, and that's great for putting it in portrait mode. Just bear in mind that the monitor is quite wide. It's a 21 by 9 monitor, so therefore if you put it on portrait mode, it's going to be extremely tall. But speaking about the stand, it can hold it very well, and I was very much impressed with it. On top of that, I was very much impressed with the actual finish of the monitor. It's very sleek, it looks very nice, and the brushed aluminium look is very cool in any sort of environment. So I can see myself putting this in a work environment or having it on my desk as it is right now. So great job from Philips right there. I'm also now going to use digital versus as pictures because it's very easy just to see them on screen, and this is to talk about the actual inputs. So I was very much impressed with the inputs that are offered by via Philips. As you can see over here, you've got USB 3.0, which is great, and you've got DisplayPort, DVI, HDMI, and then HDMI and DisplayPort out with audio as well. So you've got all the ports you'd want. The only one missing out of all of them there is VGA, but to be quite honest, nowadays VGA is not really used as much, so therefore I'm not going to really criticize it for not having VGA, but bear that in mind if you're going to be buying the monitor. So inputs wise, I was very much impressed, and the fact that it has output as well, it's great as well. Now I've got the monitor plugged into a DisplayPort, and I'm using the DisplayPort to show you this right now, and therefore I'm saying that because of I'm going to comment on the colors. Now the colors of this monitor were to be expected to be good because of IPS, and very much so. I was very much impressed with the color reproduction. It is extremely good. As you can see, I'm just going to cycle through a couple of pictures over here. They're probably not going to be the best representation of the monitor because you're viewing it through a camera, but I can tell you that the picture quality and the video quality was excellent. Very much impressed. I used a color profile just to adjust it to my slight preference, but out the box, very much impressed with the colors. With that said, one thing I wasn't too impressed by was the response time. So as you saw, there was a 14 millisecond response time, and this is because it's, well, should I say, not a monitor designed for gaming, but that can be boosted down to 5 milliseconds. Now the 5 millisecond I cannot test in terms of saying, yeah, is it actually 5 millisecond or not, but all I can say is that when I turned on smart response, which as you can see is over here via the OSD, it did make a certain effect, but you had to really fine-tune it. For me, I think fast was the best. Fast has caused a little bit of extra motion blur. So just bear that in mind when playing around with this. It is not a native gaming display, but you can use it for gaming, and I did play on Battlefield and Counter-Strike with it, and it was decent. It's not great, but it's decent. It's not something I would really go out and buy in terms of a gaming monitor. I would really look elsewhere if you're looking for a gaming monitor, because despite the lag not really being noticeable that much, If you're a serious gamer, then you're probably going to notice it. You know, I realized it in CS I was a little bit slower than I was previously, so do bear that in mind. Other than that, the monitor is actually very good in terms of viewing angles. One of my biggest complaints of the AOC monitor that I reviewed was the viewing angles. As soon as I started shifting the screen up or down, the colors were completely desaturated. So therefore, I was very much impressed with the Philips to have good color reproduction. So overall, this monitor is actually very good, and I'm very much impressed with it. It does fit its purpose as the AOC did. It's really much a workstation PC that can give you excellent color reproduction. I think it does a better job in terms of color reproduction than the AOC does. I'm not sure if the panel's different or if Philips have done some sort of magic on it, but the colors are better on the Philips, and therefore in terms of a workstation PC I would choose this. In terms of a gaming monitor, they're exactly the same. They still have the 14 millisecond response times, both of them, and have that slight lag if you're going to be playing, you're going to be a pro gamer. So do bear that in mind. The only complaint I would say about this monitor is actually its price. The fact that it comes at £360 is quite a high price to pay. Some people might be deterred by that, and some people might not be. I don't know, it depends on your wallet, but personally I think the price is a little bit too high. If it was more of the £300 price tag, almost like the AOC was when I initially reviewed it at £260, then I would be more inclined to recommend this product. But your mileage may vary. This product can be found in all different types of continents and countries, and therefore, you know, the price may vary. I'm just saying at £360, it's a little bit harder to recommend than in comparison to if it was £300. So really, this monitor is fit for a workstation PC. Photo editing and video editing is absolutely amazing on it. I've done some video editing and I was very much impressed with the fact that I could really snap things to the side and have things running in a movie format almost when it was fully rendered. Anyway guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's been slightly helpful to you. If it has, make sure you like the video. Definitely comment below in terms of your opinions of the monitor or the review. And on top of that, if you haven't already, subscribe and favorite and share, as it always helps. Alright guys, I've been Totally Dubbed, and this has been the Philips monitor, which is a very widescreen and very hard to say product name because it's extremely long. They really have to sort that out. But yeah. Take care guys, Totally Dubbed out. Bye bye.